Something like that. Hopefully it will catch more of the stray breaths and pops when I'm not literally putting my lips on the pop filter itself. Ta-da! Okay. Enough of that foolishness. It's time for the normal foolishness. And the cat is already availing himself of the bubble wrap. Laying on it and eating the things and getting pleasant pop surprises. Yeah, they do. This one actually looks like you can just rinse it out, though. This is one that actually looks like it would hold up to a small scrubbing. I'll have to actually take it off and examine it a lot better later, but you know. So, we are here. So, we pretty much have the apocalypse ready. We're pretty much sure that's going to happen. So let's keep going. What's the worst that can happen, he asks. He knows very well what the worst that can happen is. Yeah, we're in the middle of the Yakuza War, and Noyishiro-sama is not amused. I saw a ceiling I was familiar with. Though I was groggy from sleep, I did notice that I was in my futon, like I was every morning. I looked at my clock, and despite having turned in so late last night, I had woken at precisely the same moment I always did. I'm so low on sleep, but I guess you really can get up at the same time every day. Amen to that, even if you don't really want to. The secrets of the human body never cease to amaze me. If I went back to sleep like this, I would definitely not be waking up again. I spurred myself on and slipped out of my futon. Mom asked me about last night at breakfast. Apparently, we, too, had gotten a call asking if we knew where Rika-chan and Satoko were, and Mom vaguely understood that something serious was happening.
じゃあ、昨夜はお友達とみんなで夜遅くまで探してたの?
Something like that.
3時くらいまでかな。うん。
結局見つかったの? そのリカちゃんとサトコちゃんは。
Well, yeah, we kind of assumed we knew who you were talking about. Crunch. I warily bit into my toast. It really didn't have any taste. Probably because I forgot the butter. Just then, we heard the chime go ding-dong. I looked up at the clock and saw it was about 5 minutes past my regular meeting time with Rena. It was her at the door. That's the bad news Rena face. We know it well.
何時間寝れたんだろうな。多分、鶏の足でも数えられるくらいだと思う。
Chickens don't have toes. Rena seemed pretty sleep-deprived as well. There was something missing from her usual spirit.
学校行くか。
うん。その方がね、きっといいと思うの。
She said, smiling, albeit stiffly. Rena was probably worrying her heart out about those two as well. Even so, she wanted to go to school.
今日お休みしたら、きっと圭一君は病んで寝込んじゃうと思う。
Actually, that's not a bad point.
私、そんなの嫌だから。だから、一緒に学校に行こ
う。わかった。ちょっと待っててくれ。 すぐ支度するから。
I was just a little bit happy about Rena mustering that much consideration for me. We went to the place where we'd usually meet up with Mion, but she was nowhere to be found. We were a little bit late today, so we thought she'd be waiting for us.
みーちゃん、さすがに今日は起きられないかもね。
あ、そうか。あいつにとっては昨日だけじゃないんだよな。一昨日の晩も村長さんを探して徹夜してるんだよな。
We waited for a bit. Time passed until it got to the point where it was okay for us to go on alone, and we exchanged glances.
どうする？もう少し待つか？
At that point, my brain, which had finally been woken up by the morning air, recalled the ominous words Uishi-san had left me with last night. Because I am a glutton for punishment that way. The leaders of the three families were disappearing one after the other. And next, it might be the Sonozaki's leader. Could Mion... Nah, that couldn't be.
行こう。今日は寝かせておいてあげようよ。
Rena gave me a pat on the back.
ミオン、本当にいるよな。
何か言ったかな？
あ、いや、独り言。行こうぜ。
You know, there's a part of me that says the safest move would actually be to hang out near Mion. Or not safest move, but most informative move would be to hang out near Mion. Because that way, if Shion really is trying to pull some massive power play, we would at least get to figure out what the hell's going on around here. We'd sacrifice Keiichi and Rena, but, you know, some prices are worth paying. The two of us headed to school by ourselves. On the way, we saw a bunch of our classmates accompanied by their parents. It even looked like some of them were being taken to school by car. Surprisingly, the principal was also standing watch at the school gate. I'd never seen that before.
おはようございます。
おはようございます。
The principal was bowing to our classmates' guardians. The wooden sword leaning next to him was a little ominous.
前原君、おはよう。竜宮君、おはよ
おはようございます。
う。先生から大切なお話があるから、すぐに教室に入るように。いいかね？
Rena and I said nothing. The madness that only existed at night had finally crawled out into the sunlight. That's what it felt like. I don't want to give Rena an
皆
axe.
さん、おはようございます。
Ever. The hushed conversations had been spreading out for a while now, all disappeared like an illusion the moment our teacher walked in the door. Silence dominated the classroom. The principal came in with our teacher as well. This was clearly not a normal morning.
まず、校長先生から大切なお話があります。校長先生、どうぞ。
The principal cleared his throat and approached the dais.
もう知っている生徒もおるだろう。
What, no sprite for the principal? At all? The classroom was dead silent. Everyone was staring at Rika-chan and Satoko's empty seats. The principal briefly and simply declared that Rika-chan and Satoko had gone missing. There wasn't a single person in the classroom who didn't already know. There seemed to be many, however, who couldn't accept it as the truth. Yeah, the principal is apparently not that important. It had been confirmed to them now by the principal's words. There were sobs throughout the classroom, and I heard a kid crying. They steadily spread out throughout the whole room. The big-hearted principal wasn't able to keep his cool either. And, on a more selfish note, what about that game tournament we were in the middle of? Are they forfeits? I'm just asking.
はい、皆さん注目注目。今日から当分の間、登下校は保護者の方と一緒に行います。保護者の方の都合がつきにくい生徒は集団での登下校とします。
Yeah, the principal can defend himself, especially with that sword.
プリントを作りましたので、よく読み、保護者の方にも必ず見せてください。いいですね。
The teacher's voice was a little abrasive. Not even she could conceal the strain she felt from this unprecedented, abnormal situation. They should have just canceled school today. However, Rena also told me that the school was also like a nursery for the students whose parents both worked, so some of them wouldn't want school to be canceled.
では、授業を始めます。委員長はお休みですね。では日直、号令。起立。
That feeling of wanting to maintain an everyday atmosphere, even if only in school, precisely because our lives had been messed up, was something that I agreed with at this point. Yeah, they probably are safer there. Hello, Lady Mage. As for the teacher, who always had her lunch in the staff lounge, she ate in the classroom today. I had to laugh at her curry bento, which was just a rumor until now, but there was nobody to laugh with me. Rena brought her chair and lunch over to my seat. Today, it was only the two of us. The fact that we didn't need to drag any other desks over was sad.
眠いね。
I need to move this. My microphone is now blocking it. The way I have my new setup here. Well, of course you have concerns. It is Higurashi. You should have concerns.
ああ。でも、もうそんなに気にならなくなったよ。むしろ今寝れるくらいのずぶとい神経が羨ましい。
I wouldn't say nerves of steel or the right descriptor.
そうかもね。
I was sleepy this morning, but my drowsiness had dissipated after coming to school and constantly feeling the incredible tension. Rena's bento box didn't have its usual luster. That was to be expected. Rena was up for a long time last night, too. She wouldn't have had time to make her lunch beforehand, since it's not like she would have gotten up early this morning.
遠慮なくつっつけよ。今日は素直に俺の弁当の方が立派なのを認めろ。
じゃあ遠慮なくいただくね。ああ、しそチーズのちくわ巻きなんて面白いな。
レナのだって今日のはレトルトだろうけどなかなかうまいぞ。
I realized the two of us were desperately trying to brighten the afternoon mood to its usual level as much as we could. I looked around the classroom, and it seemed like we were the only ones trying to do so, surrounded as we were by gloominess.
こうして二人だけでお弁当をつつき合ってると、なんだかだよね。
Let's not go there right now, okay? I can tell forced laughter when I hear it. Our laughter grew quieter. I was the first one to mess up.
ごめん。悪かった。
いいよ。
At least the cat can still meow.
仕方ないよ。
Our chopsticks both stopped moving. We couldn't keep it up anymore.
リカちゃんとサトコ、どこに行ったんだろうな。
Those words might have sounded too miserable. Everyone was thinking it, using roundabout ways to address the topic, but I came right out and said it. I heard Rena catch her breath.
昨日ね、ケイチ君がいなくなってる間にいろいろと話を聞いてたから、レナの知ってる限りを話すね。
You're next, Keiichi.
昨べはすまなかった。頼む。
At that time, since they'd arrived for support, Rena was helping the Ladies' Society cook the miso soup we'd had. They reported all the information the villagers had gathered, and Rena said she'd overheard it.
でも結局何もわからなかったんだろう。学校が終わってから家に帰って二人で自転車に乗ってどこかへ行ったらしいということ以外は全く。
Mion had told me yesterday. We had no clues.
うん。警察の人も家に帰ってからすぐに自転車で遊びに行ったんだろうって言ってる。家に帰ってからすぐに自転車で遊びに行くところと言ったら町かもしれないでしょ。だから沖宮の町でいなくなったんじゃないかって結論になってるみたい。警察は明るくなってから捜査範囲を沖宮にも広げるって言ってた。
In town. It makes sense why we couldn't find them even though we searched all of Hinamizawa then. Still, something didn't fit. I had no basis for thinking that, just a gut feeling. I revealed something to Rika-chan that was likely very important to her that day. Then Rika-chan had told me to leave it to her. And then, what did she say? Oh right, if she didn't work hard, then something bad might happen to the dog too, I think. With all the talks of dogs and cats, I still didn't have the faintest idea what she really meant, but it might have been Rika-chan's way of saying this was a race against time. Damn it! I'd selfishly pushed my anxiety on Rika-chan and tried to run away. When I thought about it, I shouldn't have run back then. I should have asked her more about the dogs and cats. The more I think back on it, I really screwed up. Anyway, I don't think Rika-chan was in the situation where she would just go off to play somewhere. Of course, I didn't have any evidence or conviction to base that on. It was just a hunch.
町なんかに行くわけないと思うんだ。
ケイチ君もそう思う？レナもそう思うよ。リカちゃんもサトコちゃんも南沢でいなくなったに違いないの。
I looked back at Rena, startled. I could hear the conviction in those words. Without replying to my gaze, she took her bento box and went to the hallway.
お弁当箱を洗ってくるね。
She timed that in a way that broke off the conversation. Suddenly, I got the feeling that the next thing she had to say would be hard to say aloud in the classroom. I hurriedly grabbed my bento box and followed her. Rena didn't go to the kitchenette, but rather to the water fountains out back where students seldom went. The water flowed down onto our bento boxes. During that time, Rena didn't say a word. Then after making sure there were no other students around, she finally opened her mouth to speak.
リカちゃんとサトコちゃんが町に遊びに行っていなくなったなんて、なんだか腑に落ちなくて、私なりにいろいろ聞いたり調べたりしたの。
Sometimes she actually acts smart. I don't mean, just common sense. I mean she actually has some intuition about her.
聞いた？何を？
婦人会のおばさんたちにいろいろ。
Yo.
昨日のお味噌汁、お豆腐がいっぱい入ってたでしょ。富田豆腐店のおばあちゃんも来てたの。
The Tomita Tofu Shop. Oh, I remember. That was one of the stores on the road leading to the hospital. Those huge lumps of tofu dancing in the bathtub like cistern always look nice and refreshing.
おばあちゃんね、昨日学校の帰り道にさとこちゃんがお店に寄ってお豆腐を買っていったのを覚えてたの。
豆腐？学校の帰り道にだろ？それが何か手がかりになるのか？
Hey, Nagels.
いいから聞いて。リカちゃんの家に行った時のこと覚えてるかな？
Rena stepped away from the sinks and spread her arms wide to recreate the space of Rika-chan's room.
ガス台にお鍋がかけてあって、その中にお味噌汁が入ってたの。中にはお豆腐が多分一丁の半分くらい入ってたと思う。残りの半分は冷蔵庫の中にあったの。冷ややっこにするつもりだったんだね。お皿に開けてラップがかけてあった。
As Rena explained, she walked around as if she were really going through Rika-chan's room.
でもレナ、それが何だって言うんだ
？When you make miso soup, you put the tofu in last. Where's the voice? That means that Rika-chan or Satoko-chan, whoever was cooking, was standing there making it right up until before dinner time. Right up until dinner time? Wasn't everyone saying that their bikes weren't around, so they must have gone somewhere to play by themselves?
三角コーナーのゴミを見たらすごく不吉祥だった。食事やお弁当はほとんどリカちゃんが作ってるんだけど、たまにね、さとこちゃんがすることもあるの。だからその晩はさとこちゃんがお料理したんだね。
So that means that Satoko at least didn't go somewhere to play. She was preparing dinner.
それで私、炊飯釜も見てみたの。炊飯釜には2人分のご飯が炊けていた。
ってことは2人分の夕飯は作ったけど2人とも夕飯は食べなかった。
So they were kidnapped right before dinner time.
そういうことか。
That's the conclusion we've got here, right? I'm not missing anything?
それで次に冷蔵庫の中も見てみたの。そうしたら残り半分のお豆腐で作った冷ややっこがあったの。
Yeah, she would.
それだけじゃない。
She's more observant than most people here.
お夕飯用に作ったおかずも何皿かあって、それらにはみんなラップがされていた。
Huh. You usually plastic wrap things so that you can have leftovers for the next day. My mom does it all the time too, using them in breakfast or lunch.
そう。ラップって食べ残しとかを取っておくためにするものだよね。冷蔵庫に入れたということは、少なくともその晩のうちには食べないつもりだったということ。
そういうことになるのか？
圭一君、もっとよく考えて。
Yeah, you're missing a few things, Keiichi.
お夕飯を全く手つけずでラップしてあったんだよ。どういうことだと思う？
じゃあ夕食を食べる必要がなくなったわけだ。外食とか出前とかで。
それも突然にね。前もって決まっていたらお料理なんかしない。そしてお夕食は2人分用意されていた。つまりさとこちゃんは2人で食事ができると本当に直前までそう思って料理をしていたということなの。
じゃあ2人で遊びに行っていなくなったというのは間違いじゃないか。
そう。 つまりいなくなったのはお夕飯ができて夕食に至るまでの本当にわずかな時間。多分7時頃くらい。
そんな時間に食事もせずに二人はどこへ行ったんだ？
当然そこに行き着くよね。圭一君覚えてるかな？折りたたみ机が置いてあって、その上にお醤油や箸立てなんかが置いてあったのを。
There might have been something like that. I didn't remember.
お醤油の小瓶ね。空っぽだったの。もう一滴も入ってなかった。これじゃあ冷ややっこは美味しくないよね。
So is that where we're going with this?
だから私、流しの下にある醤油の大瓶を探してみたの。
よくそんなところにあるって知ってるな。
私もリカちゃんの家に行ってお料理したことあったから。
Rena cleared her throat, her face returning to a serious expression.
でね、流しの下を開けてみたら醤油の大瓶が瓶ごとなかったの。
醤油の大瓶がないとどういう意味になるんだ？
ここから先は全部レナの想像だからね。だから最後まで口を挟まずに聞いていてね。
Fair enough. Last night, Satoko was making dinner like normal. Rika-chan usually watched TV until the food was ready, so she was probably laying down and watching a variety show or something. Yeah, it's not... A better protagonist than Keiichi is a very low bar to clear. Like I said, Mion would probably make the best protagonist in these. Satoko put the tofu in the miso soup, and right when dinner was about to be ready, she noticed that they were out of soy sauce. So Rika-chan, who had nothing to do, brought the big bottle of soy sauce to a neighbor's house to borrow theirs.
俺、ご近所付き合いってよくわからないんだが、醤油なんかって分けてもらえるものなのか？
It's soy sauce. Not that expensive. Just gonna say, I mean, I don't keep soy sauce in the house personally because I don't eat anything that it would taste good with. But things like ketchup or mustard or those type of things, yeah, I'm pretty sure, you know, I'd hand over a bottle of ketchup or mustard if one of my neighbors needed one.
うん。ひなみ沢ではそんなに珍しいことじゃないよ。
I've done it a few times. So Rika-chan rode her bike out to get some soy sauce. No matter how long Satoko-chan waited, though, Rika-chan didn't come back. So then Satoko-chan called up the house where Rika-chan was going. Would Rika happen to be imposing on you? Something like that. Then the other person must have replied with something like this.
うちに食事の用意があるから、さとこちゃんもいらっしゃい。リカちゃんはもう食べてるよって。
Huh.
きっとそんな感じで呼び出したんだと思う。
Satoko called Rika a few names in private and wrapped up the dinner she had made for them. She put it in the fridge so she could use it for breakfast and lunch the next day. Then Satoko got on her bike too, and headed for the house where Rika-chan was.
でも、すでにこの時点でおかしいの。
I don't know about the miso shop. The miso shop just sold them the tofu.
食事ってね、突然やってきた人に振る舞えるほど多めに作るものじゃないんだよ。
Yeah, that's a little bit out of the ordinary, yes. A veteran housewife would never normally make so much food that she could feed 2 extra people.
たまたま偶然作りすぎたことだって 考えられるだろう。
それでも
Keiichi?
絶対に考えられない。
Keiichi. Are you hearing the words come out of your mouth? I mean, are you hearing that you're asking about them actually feeding the two girls that got kidnapped and never heard from again? Especially after nobody admitted to actually having seen the two of them later that night. They talked to everybody. Nobody admitted it. Keiichi, I want you to put two and two together for once, please. Rena flatly denied me.
だってリカちゃんはさとこちゃんが頑張って作ったお夕飯がもうできてることを知ってるんだよ。どんなにお夕飯を勧められたってさとこちゃんのお夕飯を無駄にするようなことをするわけがない。
This was all only circumstantial evidence and Rena's guesswork. Which is actually really freaking good as far as I can tell. Even so, it was all extremely convincing. Yeah, that's actually a pretty freaking good, good bit of detective work Rena did. It was the only ray of hope we had to topple the situation bereft of clues.
じゃあレナ、リカちゃんはどこへ醤油をもらいに行ったんだ？
That was the heart of it. It had to be somewhere she'd be comfortable with asking for soy sauce, and somewhere Satoko wouldn't think it suspicious that she'd been invited for dinner. So who was it? Rena slowly shook her head.
レナの推理はここまで。
You know what you could do? No, it wouldn't work anymore. We've already ruined that. If nobody had used that phone since, you could just walk over and hit redial and see who picked up. But unfortunately, we used that phone.
あくまでも想像だからね。
Yeah, I like your ideas, Rena.
警察の人とかには内緒にしておいてね。
Why?
隠すことはないんじゃないか。仮に半分しか会ってないとしても、きっとヒントにはなると思うぞ。
ケイチ君、これってひなみ沢の人を疑うって意味だよ。
Yes, your point being what?
確信もないのに村の人を疑えない。
I saw a few girls coming over to rinse out their bento boxes. Rena cut the conversation short there and returned to the classroom. I stood there alone, my body bathed in the lively voices of the cicadas. Let's think about this. In my own way, which usually doesn't involve thinking, but at least not with the main brain. Rena had barely any information to go on, and yet she'd reasoned out that much. So there should be something that only I, who knew far more than Rena did, could deduce. Uishi-san said this last night too, but this incident was definitely occurring within Hinamizawa. Rena might not have wanted to believe it, but it's basically a given that the culprit is someone from the village. The trigger for everything was when the four of us trespassed that forbidden storehouse. Somebody saw us going in there. For the culprits, breaking the taboo was a crime punishable by death. Again, why do I have the very sneaking suspicion that Shion got all of us in there, had someone around taking taking pictures with the camera, not Tomataki, taking pictures and managed to get those pictures to the police so she could start this whole curse nonsense up and have her path clear to take out the leaders of the three families and take over herself and establish herself as pretty much the head of the area. Why do I get that feeling? You know, I'm just saying. For the culprits, breaking the taboo was a crime punishable by death. So that night, Tomataki-san and Takano-san were sacrificed. There were two left. Shion and myself. However, before the culprits bore their fangs on Shion and me, they went after the mayor, to whom Shion had confessed her sin. Next, they went for Rika-chan, to whom I'd confessed my sin. Then, what about Satoko? Just a stray bullet? By itself, Rika-chan being sacrificed after I told her everything was mortifying. But Satoko, who was sacrificed for no reason, wasn't that all the more regrettable? Everything was my fault! Who'd be the next to disappear? Would it be Shion and me next time? Why weren't the culprits going for Shion and me right away, though? If they had enough power to erase the mayor and Rika-chan, then why not just get rid of Shion and me? If they went for us, well, I wouldn't like it, but I could still tolerate it. What I couldn't forgive was them getting rid of those we confessed to. Now that I think of it, yesterday Shion said something alarming. She felt like someone was watching her. So then, was someone watching me as well? Strangely though, I hadn't felt anything like that until now. Even though I'm the root cause of everything, I'd never once had that impression. Maybe that was simply because Shion was more cautious than me and I was careless. That's another story though. No, it's not. It's this story and every story involving Keiichi Maebara. Let's get back on track. Why weren't the culprits going after Shion and me? I felt like that's where the key to this lay. Could it be... was I making a big assumption that I shouldn't have been? I thought and thought, but couldn't come up with an answer. The one thing I understood was that I was a concerned party to this case, and that I had a duty to watch over it until everything got resolved.